Hey, and
Hey,
we're back. It's funny. I don't know anybody watching here if you've noticed how long it takes to get your videos to start going live in Facebook these days. Because what is your intro? 90 seconds long, and
yes.
it finally started showing in Facebook about 87 seconds in, and I'm like going, okay, we're going to go live, and it's not even going to be live in Facebook yet. But it finally kicked in at the last second there.
Well, we have
So
to use the RMTP key in that settings, and apparently your backup stream key is different every single time you go live. So lesson learned on that one.
Oh, okay. So this was operator error as much as anything else.
We're going to the 3 minute countdown.
We may need to be able to get in here live. Okay. All right. Well, we're back again this week here. I think this is the fourth week we've done this now. We missed it last week because we were, Madison and I were both out doing some other training for affiliate marketing stuff. And so now we are back at it. And we got a very special guest today, like always. And I'm going to let Madison do the introduction.
So this is somebody I had the pleasure of meeting at the first ClickFunnels Connect event in LA. I know he's also been instrumental in starting his own ClickFunnels Connect events before it was even like officially announced. Him and Donnie and Donnie's wife Terry kind of took that on their own and met as a group of funnel hackers. And this is somebody who is going to put a different spin on what a lot of funnel hackers, funnel builders are actually doing and targeting Main Street businesses. So without further ado, welcome Brandon Garcia to the show.
Hey, appreciate you guys having me on here. It's great to finally meet you guys in person at that Connect event in LA last December. Crazy events that happened, just weeks after that. Glad it all kind of worked out. I guess good for us, terrible for them after that. But yeah, happy to be here with you virtually again.
Well, just on that, so where we were in Hollywood, right on, were we on Sunset?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
Sunset,
right.
yeah, blocked off
Yeah.
from Hollywood Boulevard.
Now that didn't burn down, did it? Wasn't it the fires were more to the west of that?
Slightly, but it was still pretty close. Like
Okay.
it would have been in an area where we probably wouldn't be allowed to go.
Okay. Yeah. Well, definitely, I think up in the hills up north of there, because I flew into Burbank and had to come in through that way. So I think some of that burned up in that area too, but I'm not sure. But there was definitely a lot of damage, and haven't really seen much on it in the news lately. But that's doesn't matter. We brought you in today because you are gonna wow us. So what do you got? That's what
Well,
we
Madison,
promised everyone. You were gonna
yeah,
wow.
yeah. So as Madison, so eloquently put it, I'm taking a different angle when it comes to, I guess, funnel hacking and funnel building. When it comes to fixing the main street of America, because there is a problem there. I started my deal a couple years ago. I was selling cars at the time, and just trying to figure out traffic to my location. And I'd done it a little bit before when working at a large dealership in Tampa, Florida. And so I was kind of drawing on that. And then, I Googled, how to generate sales traffic, and traffic secrets popped up. And like, I'm going through the book. I'm like, I've already done all this stuff. Well, why didn't it like click going into it? And it's so easy. And in parallel with that, I'm looking for home services in my area. Uh, you know, landscapers primarily, and everybody that I've like looked up and tried to reach out to, either the phone numbers were bad, they didn't answer, and website information was incorrect with regards to hours. Um, Google business profiles were a complete mess, not optimized, not anything. Most of them weren't even claimed. So I'm thinking there's opportunity here to fix all that, and so that's been my mission for the past couple of years here, to fix the top end of everybody's funnels and bring them into the ClickFunnels world in that marketing space. Teach them the things of Russell Brunson and Dan Kennedy, and the simple, easy tactics that generate so much revenue if they're just focused on. Something as simple as one showing up at the top of the search results if somebody's looking for a landscaper, right? If you're showing up number one, especially in the map pack, and the phone number works, and you answer the phone, you're most likely getting that deal, because people are so apt or so used to not getting answers. They're just going to take the first one that actually pays attention to them and shows up.
Well, yeah, and do you see there being a huge demand for people to work with small businesses? I know the answer, of course, and I'm leading you on here, but do you think there's a huge demand for people to help out these small businesses?
Absolutely. I mean, most of these small business owners are, older in age, the boomer generation, older Gen X's that, may have some tech savvy, and may understand it, but don't have the time to actually do it. And that's where these types of services, are a value in the sense that they're able to buy back their time, get everything optimized right, and then get more leads in to manage, scale, and or just at least maintain the lifestyle they want to live.
Well, that's one thing I've been saying to people forever in the funnel builder certification program, and they just had a big webinar about it a few hours ago, and I think they're even going to push this even more. Is get out there, work with these small business people, and in the case of like Stephanie Dove Blake, I forget it was chiropractors or dentists or whatever. She picked a particular niche and says, let's say it's chiropractor. So she picked a chiropractor niche and says, I'm going to work with these people. And so you basically have to build the funnel one time, and then you have to find people to plug into it. And then as you're going to show us here, then you have to make sure you get the local marketing right so that when somebody searches in Google, boom, the guy down the road from me pops up first, not the guy 50 miles away who did his job of getting it set up properly.
Right, 100% with that. And it doesn't take much. I mean, Google's been a little bit finicky in the past couple months, when it comes to actually getting claimed and verified and making edits without getting shut down. But that's due to the fact that they're switching everything over to AI. And, if we're going to be getting to that topic later on, which is fine, but that's why things have not been copacetic, I guess, with these small business owners. And there's some frustrations there. In fact, I had a roofing client that it took 3 months to get verified. Every time we tried to get them verified, it would get shut down. And there's no support. So that's also a deterrent for these small business owners, that there's no direct support, and it takes Google certified partners to actually get in there, make the phone calls, send the messages, and just spend all that time that's necessary to make sure these small businesses are actually showing up on Google verified.
Yeah, so these small businesses don't have time to think around with this stuff, and so they're much better off bringing in a funnel builder, bringing in somebody who knows what they're doing, and paying them, some money to get this thing done for them, because it's going to pay itself back. I mean, I'm not going to ask you what you charge or anything like that, but what would you estimate the time is for payback once they get this set up? Because they're going to finally start getting the traffic that they've been looking to get with the janky website that they had.
Yeah, so I'll be honest, I don't charge enough for what I do and what it can actually
Probably not
bring in. But an optimized business profile for a high in demand service, depending on the area that you're in, if you're generating 10, 20 phone calls, a month free just from that section alone, as compared to a paid phone call, like from Google, a paid phone call for a roofing company is anywhere from $80 to $100. You're getting 20 for free, at least from your Google business profile. What's that? $1,600 to $2,000 in ad spend that you don't have to make per month, just because you have an optimized Google business profile and you're getting that traffic for free.
Okay, so this is definitely worth it for somebody to do. So why don't you show us what you want to about this?
All right, I will pull up here, at least my local area, and I'll even just show you the landscapers in my area and how unoptimized they are and what needs to be done to fix their profiles.
So while you're doing that, how are you connecting with these potential businesses? Are you cold calling them? Are you, getting connected through like your chamber of commerce, or you just sending emails or DMs, or what do you do to connect with these people?
It's pretty much all that above. And simply because these folks, they're not actively looking for marketing help. Most of them think marketing is a scam and they don't need any help, which is a problem, because they only know what they know and they don't know what I know that I can teach them. And even if they don't hire me, I'm happy to do a consult to show them, hey, if you just do this, this, and this, then you'll be good to go if you have the time to do it. If you don't, pay me and I'll do it for you. All right, so let me go ahead and share my screen.
I think that was one of the big things, like in the webinar today, was the show proposal, like a proposal, but show them instead. And I think this is probably like a lot of the stuff you're talking about is like, just show them what you can do and then let them either try to do it themselves, get frustrated, or hire you.
Absolutely. And so this is my local area here, Urbana, Ohio, where it should be. Yeah, there we go. And these are the businesses that end up showing up first. Obviously, you have a little bit bigger companies here that are actually doing a sponsored post, but this is essentially where you want to end up showing up in the map pack, because after that, no one is really looking for any more businesses. They're looking for the top 3. If it's good, you got good reviews here, you're good to go. Now, if you go to these websites, we can go deeper dive and see if they're optimized to actually get a lead. That's a totally different topic there. But if you go into more business here for the map, and you go down to somebody that has 9 reviews here, you know, what I would do to reach out to this person was just be talk about reviews. If they've been in business a long time, I reach out and say, hey, get more reviews, add more photos, start posting, because they don't have any posts here. It does look like their business is claimed, because if not, it'll say, do you own this business? And that's basically what I'd show them on a brief loom when I send it over to them. For somebody that has, again, 7 or so reviews, I would see why, see what the reviews are, and see if I can do what we can do to get more. Someone like Fowler 4 Seasons really needs some help with 2 at 3.0. This one isn't even claimed because it says suggest an edit or own this business. This one's probably not even claimed. So this is a definitely key lead that needs to be reached out to solicit service to and get them ranking higher on the map pack. And then you can see this photo here. You know, we're using Hotmail for an email. Definitely not professional, and definitely going to not get you any leads because of that. So like these are the leaks in the plumbing that I'm looking to fix.
Okay, now my first question is, so you got this whole list down the left-hand side. How does a company get listed there in the first place?
So that's simple. It's business.google.com. You go there, you type in your business. I probably should sign out of that. Get signed in with a Google account. Recommend just setting up a Gmail account like businessname@gmail.com to start off, but never use that as your email address. And then from there, you can put in your business name, and it will just walk you through the steps. So, I mean, we can put in that one. Actually, this, there we go. Share this tab instead. So you can put in the business name, XYZ Plumbing, or whatever, business category. This one's already claimed, so you just request access if it's already been claimed, if you know you own it. If you don't own it, then you can actually start claiming it. Let's go back to, what was that?
Something 4 Seasons.
Yeah,
4 Seasons of landscaping.
All Seasons. All Seasons?
Maybe it was All Seasons.
So at this point here,
No,
Google already knows about this company, obviously, or are they showing up because they have come and actually done this process themselves?
Both. So Google will scrape the internet and try to find companies to put on their maps, kind of like Yelp does.
Okay.
And so they'll make a listing for it. They're going to be just looking for that information, right? Now they'll put it up there without you knowing it, and then it'll be your deal to go in there and claim it.
Okay.
And actually, there's there. So obviously, this one is not managed at all. So I could literally take control of this guy's Google Business profile right now if I wanted to, and manage.
So you could hold it hostage, huh?
I could hold it hostage and get it verified, and that would be kind of the evil thing to do, which is not good to do. But even the verification process can be a little bit tricky in the sense that I may have to make a video about the business to actually prove that I own it, or I have to use a telephone number to claim it and actually use the one that's actually listed there. The easiest way though to get verified is to have a Search Console account and a website, and typically it auto verifies. So.
Okay, so if you set up Google Analytics and Search Console, and then do you have to like grab the G tag or something and put it in there, or does it just automatically do it?
It'll automatically do it as long as you're signed into your Google account that is attached to those assets.
Okay.
So if you're signed into those, you set up your analytics account with that Gmail account. You have your Search Console set up with the same Gmail account, then it'll work. To really go above and beyond is to already have a domain and Google Workspace set up and established for a while. That way you have that domain branded email anyway, using that account. And then, you're pretty much a shoe in for verification because you're already spending money with Google and they already kind of know, like, and trust you a little bit.
There's the key. You're spending money with Google.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You got to buy your way in no matter what.
Sometimes, yeah. I mean, but again, the paid Gmail service is a more secure service and is actually needed to do email marketing anyway. So you might as well have it.
Yeah, and at $8 a user, that's really nothing. At $8 a user, that's really nothing. I think going up to $8.40 for the basic plan, that's nothing for a business that should be making, several, $1,000 a month, at least several $100 a month.
Yeah, it's literally pennies on the dollar, and that's for their basic plan. Gives you 30 gigs of storage and shared storage for all your users and things like that. If you feel you need to move up, you can move up to, I think it's $14 a month for their middle of the road plan, and you get all the access security. And
you said there was a Google Workspace account?
Yeah, so Google Workspace is like paid Gmail.
Okay.
It used to be free, but then they started charging for it.
That surprises me they had anything for free.
Yeah, those were the good old days.
Those were the good old days. They used to have it for free to where you can have a domain-based email account, like at xyz.com, running through Workspace. And then I don't know when they started charging for it, but they left some people on the legacy deal, but didn't give them everything. And then they started giving a whole bunch of other perks to those that actually paid.
So kind of as an aside here, then, if somebody sets up a ClickFunnels account, and they need to have their own personal email to be able to get the replies, can they set that up then on this Google Workspace for just $8 a month?
Well, yep, they absolutely can. And, since everything is recommended to run through Cloudflare when you're using ClickFunnels anyway, the integration and setup is super simple and easy. Okay. Like once you put your domain in, it finds where your DNS and all that stuff is hosted. If it's Cloudflare, you sign in with your Cloudflare account and it automatically sets everything up for you. So there's really no tech needed to do it. Like a business owner can literally do this themselves if they just have, a cup of coffee in an hour to sit down and do it.
So the auto setup, especially if you ran it through Cloudflare.
Yep.
See, I wasn't aware of that because I hear people all the time, G Suite, and I would guess G Suite's a lot more expensive.
That is Google Workspace. Like G Suite is Google Workspace.
Oh, it is the same thing. Okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. And what's nice now is like, because now they have the AI attached to it too with Gemini, like if you're paying for Workspace, you're getting the pro version of Gemini now, which is nice.
Okay. All right. Sorry, I kind of took you off on a tangent there. So where were we with this guy here? How are we going to fix his problems?
So his problems, I would reach out to him like, hey, are you guys still in?
Oh no, we lost you, Brandon.
Yep.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. So what I was saying was, so I would call this guy up. I was like, hey, are you guys still in business? Yes, no, maybe so. It's like, well, I noticed that, you have a Google business profile, but it's not claimed. You could be losing out on deals in the area, people looking for landscapers because you're not ranking high enough. The no like and trust isn't there. You got some bad reviews. You got a minute to sit and chat about it, yada, yada, yada. This is what I can do for you. In fact, I'll do this for you for free. But if you want additional help, we can talk about that once more deals are coming in. And that's it. That'd be the simple call. It's yes or no. And if they say no, I said, all right, well, good luck with your business there and have a great day. Like a super low pressure thing to do. But I mean, that's what I would do to reach out to say, hey, this guy needs help. This is what I can do for you. And obviously the paid part would be the ClickFunnels deal. Sign up for an account. I'll build your first deal for XYZ. After that, you just maintain the subscription. You have me in your back pocket if you ever need any help. And that's the service part of it. And it's super simple to do.
Well, and that again really fits into the whole thing with the FBC and what I just said before about Stephanie Dove Blake is like, so you're looking through this stuff here, looking for your chiropractors, looking for your landscapers, whatever, and then you say, okay, well, I can do this for you. Well, you already have a framework completely built out for the 10 other businesses you just helped before that, and you just change it up for them, change out the images, do whatever, send them the framework, and you're good to go.
Yeah, and it's really not hard, and the frameworks are like so clutch right now. In fact, the last client that I pulled in was a roofer, and I already had a framework built out for them. They were up and running in about a week. Other than their Google business profile taking, 6 weeks to get verified because it's Google. They were already getting leads and things like that in before that was even up and running.
Yeah, so this is just definitely one more tool in the toolbox of being able to help out the small businesses.
Yep. Knowing and understanding Google business profile should be a keystone or a cornerstone to any foundation of local Main Street marketing.
Okay. All right. What else you got for us? We got 33 minutes left. You got to fill the time here for us, brother.
Well, what additional questions do you have there for it?
Do you set up the analytics and the search console and all that stuff for them?
Yeah. So the analytics can be a little bit on the trickier side, but they've made it so much easier with GA4 now. A lot of it's pretty much auto set, and we'll know and understand the traffic that's coming in to then recommend what settings and setups that you should have. Most of these local businesses, again, they just want leads. And that's all you need to track. So there really isn't much in the way of, deep dive analytics that you need for like an e-commerce site would need or anything of that nature. Search console, you just verify the site with a DNS tag, and it will start tracking the keywords and things like that are being searched and how your site is showing up versus those keywords, which is really nice because then you can really start optimizing your site based on those keywords and creating the blog post needed to start ranking even higher. So definitely recommend, if you don't have Search Console on your site, get it on there immediately to know what people are searching and how you're showing up versus what they're searching.
Yeah, once you get analytics set up, they give you this little snippet of code. You just go into your site. You want to put it across the entirety of the site, so you just go into the main page, the home page, whatever, and go into, I forget now. Yeah, you put that in the header code, right?
Well, in ClickFunnels, it's really nice because if you go into like the top side site settings, right, and I don't know if somebody can pull it up if they already have their ClickFunnels account up. If not, I can. I'll show you exactly where to put that kind of stuff. So let's go to my dummy site here. New Leaf Life and Health. Site settings. All right, let's get this shared here. Okay, so here, when you're in your site settings, here to the left, here for your header code and footer code, like this is entire account wide.
Right.
So not only will it work for the actual main site and blog, but all of your funnels as well. So you never have to do anything with them. Just create the funnel and rock and roll with it. It's going to be tracked in your Google Analytics. Now, if you really want to drill down into it, right, you can then create additional analytics accounts for specific funnels just to see how they perform. If you really want to get into the minutia of the data, but most people again don't need to do that. Just put the header code across the entire site, and it will go through all your pages and funnels. Same thing with your pixel ID for Meta. Like again, you can put it on the funnel itself if you really want to segment the data. If not, just type in your pixel ID there, and it does what it needs to do, which is really nice. And again, for the Search Console, it's a DNS tag. So when you do the Search Console, when you add the site domain, it will either auto do it when it knows you're with Cloudflare or GoDaddy, or it'll give you the code to manually put on your DNS.
I thought that once you put the script on your page with the G tag in it, I thought then when you went to the Search Console, it actually just goes and finds the Google script, and then it verifies it that way as well, instead of, so you don't even have to put in that little code snippet.
I've always done the DNS code for the verification, regardless if
okay, so you run the DNS into Cloudflare. That is what you're doing.
Yep.
Okay.
For the verification of ownership, and that's basically what it is. Just verifying that you own that domain. I'm
gonna test that because my analytics doesn't seem to be working right, and maybe it's because I don't have that. So I'll put in the DNS record and see what happens. Now, what else? It's kind of a leading question here. Maybe I'm going to stump you. What else would you also put into Search Console that you can get from ClickFunnels now? So it's like Jeopardy here now.
It is like Jeopardy. So when it comes, let me pull up Search Console, and okay, you can kind of see what information you get from there. Because again, there's nothing like red on the actual page itself, because Search Console is tied to literally like Google search, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I never understood the separation of Google Analytics and Search Console. It just never, I didn't understand why they have two of them.
Right. So if you didn't have any type of properties on there, you just put in the domain for what's on there, and then you'd be able to access it once it asks for verification. But I'm not going to do that there because I actually got to switch to one that I have available. I don't want to do all that. Why is this not?
Because you're live. That's why.
Yeah, that's why it doesn't want to work.
Yeah, better while you're live. You're throwing all out.
All right. So when you're in Search Console, again, this is one of my domains there, and this will give you the overview where it tells you how many web clicks that you're getting.
Wait, you switch tabs.
Yeah, I think we're looking at the wrong one.
Okay, there we go.
Now we switch. Okay.
Okay, so this is the Search Console overview. So it's like a secondary analytics is the best way that I can put it. It's not going to give you who's visiting, it's just going to tell you that people are visiting, right? And so analytics is literally reading the actions that are on the page. Search Console is reading the actions people are taking in Google search itself. And so what you want to look at, again, like these are the queries, yeah, that's it, that people are looking for, and how you're showing up. So for this one, Profit Secret, I showed up 5,451 times because people are looking for profit secrets. Unfortunately, I haven't got any clicks in the past 3 months, so that means I need to optimize my page so people actually start clicking it, right? And then how to generate free leads, 122 times. Local SEO Accelerator, 92. Free business leads, 125. So my sites are showing up based on these search queries. They just need to be optimized to get the clicks in. And that's basically the whole point of knowing, understanding how people are searching. And that's what this program is.
No, so that shows up. So somebody goes into Google, they type in whatever that one was with the 5,000, whatever, but it doesn't show you necessarily where you ranked. So you may have showed up 5,400 times, but you might have been in position 20.
It actually does. It will tell you. So up here,
there we go.
You get your average position. If you show that, so Profit Secrets 66.2.
Okay,
so that was the average position.
That would explain why no one was clicking on it, because they'd have to go to page whatever to find it.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So it definitely needs to be optimized. But again, it showed up 5,400 times, so it actually did show up on the page. That was just the average position of it in the past 3 months.
Well, and you also know that means that Google is clearly aware of your site and it is serving it up. It's just it doesn't see it as obviously being in the top 10.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
And so, but at least if it's showing, this is a keyword to possibly work on, because of getting 5,400 impressions, people are looking for profit secrets.
Yeah, clearly. Well, that is definitely a good way to find out, like you said, what people are looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You could also go into Core Web Vitals to see how optimized your deal is. So that's only going to come from traffic coming to your page. The more traffic, it'll be able to get the page speeds, insights, and things like that. And then for sitemaps, this is actually how to get your deal to show up on Google. ClickFunnels 2.0, when it first came out, they didn't have a very nice sitemap. They've since fixed that. And so if you are a ClickFunnels user, you can just put in your address and then /sitemap.xml, and it will put all of your pages onto Google. And that's really the only way to start showing up on Google.
And that was the thing that I was alluding to. What else would you put in there? And I think if you click on the sitemap, the link itself, I think if you click on that, it actually shows you the sitemap. Or maybe, see page, see somewhere.
See page indexing.
Or maybe if you, open sitemap, go to the top right. Yeah. There you go. And this will actually show you the links that Google sees, or what, not Google sees, what ClickFunnels put into the sitemap. So you can come in here and you can say to yourself, oh, wait a second, I don't want this page in my sitemap, and I don't want this page in my sitemap. So you can go in then and make sure it says, don't have the search engines index the page. Mm-hmm. Because you might look in here and you go, oh, wait, that just sent somebody to the thank you page, or that sent somebody to the checkout page. And so they could get there without having seen the sales page before it. So it's a good way to really check up on this and see what is being served to Google.
Mm-hmm. I don't know how many times I've actually found the checkout pages or like the thank you pages of funnels just by either typing in XYZ free PDF and get to their download page and download the deal without one paying or two having to opt in for anything.
Yeah. And Google's pretty good. They always have been, as far as if you say don't index it, they're really good about not indexing it.
Yeah, and in the reports that you have here with it, no, it's not there. somewhere. Pages. There we go. It shows you how many pages aren't indexed, and you can see the reasons why. I have 568 of them not indexed, and most likely because they're duplicate pages. Now, that's one of the things with ClickFunnels that is there, especially if you have a lot of blog posts or a lot of pagination. It knows it's a page, but it's not going to serve, your homepage, page 22, because you have, 22 paginations in a thing for your blog post. So,
okay, so
Or
you're
maybe
saying
you downloaded every theme that was available in your account when it first came out, and now you have 224 pages.
that too.
I didn't
too.
think about that. Is each one of those theme template pages, that is an actual page, isn't it?
It is.
Wow. Okay. So another good reason to get rid of the stuff you're not using in there. Download one theme, and if you've downloaded 15 themes, you get to spend the afternoon going in there deleting stuff.
Mm-hmm. But again, a lot of it for my deal is due to blog posts. So on my blog post page, I have a pagination set up to read additional blogs. And so, like for this blog here, Google and Yahoo poised to make sweeping email marketing changes in February 2024. This is post page 7. So on the blog itself, the pagination is set on 7, but you're still reading this blog page, so it's not going to serve it up. I can show you. See where the pagination set at 7 instead of 1, so it's the same page. It's just how it sets it up in ClickFunnels there for the page itself. So that's why it doesn't show. So you don't need to be scared that a whole bunch of pages aren't showing. It's just because it's a quote unquote duplicate page.
Okay, so it doesn't show where. It wasn't showing in the indexed pages. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, so if somebody looked up anything about this email marketing changes for Google and Yahoo, they may get served up a page that contains this article in it, but it's not going to be page 7 because maybe it's just going to be the original post itself or possibly page 1, depending on which one Google decided to pick.
You got the page itself, and then you have so the spider's coming through, it gets to so let's say it's the main page, it's got all your blogs, it's got the pagination at the bottom. It's still going through and seeing those links at the bottom and counting them, but it doesn't necessarily index that, but it will index the original page itself.
Correct. It'll index this link without the question mark post page equals 7.
Okay.
Because that's the original page.
Okay. Now, as long as we're on the blogs here, I got a question for you. Are you using schema on each one of your blog pages?
No.
Okay. That would be one more thing. And I completely forgot about it. So I will give credit. Russell was interviewing Damon Burton the other day. And he said that, and if you want to go there, go to secretsofsuccess.com, because he completely rebuilt Secrets of Success going off of, he's an SEO guy, but what he really did, if you look at it, is it looks very much like a WordPress blog. And I was just like, well, there you go. Pretty smart, because nothing ranks better than WordPress blogs. And the reason why is because of all the internal linking inside of them. And so he basically did the same thing here. And then you got links out to the author pages and all that kind of stuff too. So that was one of the things he said, is on each one of these pages, the blog posts, the author pages, the book pages, all that, he did use schema for that. And if you don't know what schema is, just Google, free schema builder, and you'll find a bunch of different examples of what different builders are. Then you can pick, there's, I don't know how many, probably dozens of different types of schemas. So you can have a schema for an author, you can have a schema for a book, you can have a schema for a blog post, schema for recipes. and then it'll ask you, okay, what's the information you want to put in here? So you got a schema for a recipe. I don't know what it asks for, but I shouldn't use that as an example for blog post stuff. It would be like, it'll ask you, what is the author? What is the title? What is the description? Date that it was posted? That kind of stuff. If you're doing a video, let's say you're doing a video blog, so you could set the schema as a video, and then it'll ask you the same kind of questions. What's the title of the video? What's the description of the video? Who's the author? Where was it produced? All that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and if you were to, and that schema code will go into the header of that particular. I'm trying to think on how that would work for the blog. It's for the blog post itself, because the blog post page itself is a templated page that has the dynamic content that is.
Yeah, you're going to have to use an HTML, custom JavaScript HTML box.
Gotcha.
Drop it into that, most likely.
Well, the only thing with that in the blog post itself, so there is some. Obviously, you have the breadcrumbs here. You have the data is posted here. The only other thing to really put is maybe the description itself on what it's about, and then within the post itself, you can have a subset. Like I said, if it is a recipe deal, subset section of just the steps itself, without going into back in 1992 when I was cooking with my grandma's, and all that kind of stuff, just to get it to rank, right? So I don't know about the whole schema code on the back end of a blog post page. That's definitely something I'll look into to see what came out.
Check out, go back to the Secrets of Success page. You can find it in there. But I do recall when I did inspect the page that the script was down at the bottom. So that would indicate to me it was put into the footer code for the page, which then again, like you said, because blog posts are treated basically the same as courses, right? Where, like you said, you got the template and then you got the content that goes into there. So I'm not, again, like you said, I'm not sure, because I don't think you can set header or footer code on those individual blog pages. So I'll have to do some more research into exactly how.
No, you can.
You can?
Yep.
You just pulled it up? Okay.
I did. Yep. It's just under the little gear, like you're editing a post, and it goes show code, and it's header and footer.
Okay. And the reason why someone would want to use schema is basically because Google loves it. They may have invented it, for all I know. They probably did. But they just love that because they can just go in there and they don't have to think about what the page is about. You just told them what the page was about. And then you just copy that little snippet of code, you drop it in there. Madison, share your screen real quick so we can see where that is.
Yeah.
Brandon's like, going, yeah, show that to me.
Yeah, please. Because I'm looking for it, too.
Where have you been all my life?
Alrighty. So I'm going to put it up on the stage. There we go. So I am just here. As you can see, I'm just going to close stuff right now. These are just the example ones that are in there. I shouldn't have closed out of it. And then it's just over here in the gears, and it pops up CSS, header code, and
there
footer.
you go. There we go. That's where you would put it there. I mean, you could even put it in the header. Like, it wouldn't hurt it if it's in the header. It's probably actually better for it anyway. Yeah. All right. I will definitely start scheming up my posts. I got like 43 to go back and do now. Great. Or more.
There's always more work. I tell you, every day the list just keeps getting longer.
It does, and it's the toughest work to do for yourself as well. It's easy to do for other people, tough to do for yourself.
Oh, I was definitely having a conversation just recently with some people about that, and just like, yeah, it's like, you can, and the same thing, like critiquing somebody's page when they built it, or writing copy for somebody else. It's so simple. When you got to do it for yourself, oh man, because you're just so in your head about it. Mm-hmm. But that's why, again, where AI comes in and is really nice. I actually was doing an example for something the other day, and I thought I was in ChatGPT, and I was just like, okay, what is something I know absolutely nothing about? And for some reason, this topic popped into my head, and it was helping women who are having trouble breastfeeding their babies. And
big problem.
I'll tell you, oh, apparently it really is, because, I asked it the first thing, and it put out stuff, and it's like, the biggest problem is all the emotional stuff where the women, they feel like they're not able to help their babies, and they're feeling let down, and, all kinds of just emotional stuff. And then, so I keep going through, and I'm basically telling it, okay, well, give me the lead for it, give me the origin story, that kind of stuff. And I'm reading this stuff, and not only was I incredibly impressed with what AI is putting out now for copy like that. I'm seriously, I'm like reading this, and I'm like feeling emotional, like, oh my God, this is like really hitting me. And I know nothing about the subject. So I can only imagine how it would hit somebody who actually did have this problem.
Mm-hmm.
And I found with the AI is you have to, as you're going through it, you have to tell it, now remember, this is a fictitious product, so I'm giving you full license to make up any kind of story you want that will help to make this point. And it came up with some stuff that blew me away. It really did, because I gave it no constraints.
So is that the easiest way to get it to do what you want to do, by saying it's fake, but it's really real?
Well, you can then tweak the stories. But here's the thing is, if you tell it that it's fictitious and just to make up a story, it may make up a story that is so incredible, and you go, oh, I forgot. In this case here is a woman who was a nurse, had the problem herself, started helping women. They actually, is a lactation consultant or something.
Yep.
They always. And they, so that's who I said, okay, this is who this woman is. So tell me her story. And yeah, I was very impressed. And you can then, obviously, if you're in that market, you're going to have your own stories, but you can see the way AI did it using really good marketing principles. And then you can plug in your story to fit.
So there you go. There's like, if you're sitting there as like, maybe you're a member of FBC and you can't get your first sale, or you can't get to $10,000, and you're like, well, I've been a teacher my whole life, or I work in somewhere, right? And you're like, I don't know anything about roofers or plumbers or landscapers. Like, how am I going to speak their language? If Dan can do breastfeeding stuff, you can figure out how landscapers talk, their problems, what you can help them, like how you speak their language, their pain points, their false beliefs, just by spending, a couple prompts with ChatGPT. And you can remember, you can also talk to it too.
Yeah, and the conversations get better and better the more you use it. My GPT is so seasoned, like I don't even have to prompt it half the time. One, because I did kind of set it up slightly in the beginning, but I've kind of had it do the same thing over and over and over again about 1 million times, that it kind of knows what I want, except for 4.5. 4.5 right now is not very good. But 4.0 will knock something out and be halfway decent. And then you just optimize it and rock and roll.
When I was in there the other day, it said they had some new feature about it knew all about you kind of feature. And here's the thing. I rarely use ChatGPT, and I don't even have a paid account. So it said, do you want us to tell you about yourself? And I was like, what the hell? Clicked on it.
Dan Havey is cheap.
Yeah. This cheap, yeah. Yeah. He can't even get his wallet out. But even on totally free, it never gave me an error. It never said, you got to pay or anything. I was doing this for probably an hour or more, and 4, 5, 6 big prompts, and it gave me all kinds of stuff. And it just like, wow, when's this thing going to turn off? And never did. The same thing with Sora. I've created dozens of pictures with Sora, and it never says, "Hey, cheapskate, pay up." Maybe I have an account I don't know about.
Like your wife just pays for it and just was like, tired of him bitching about him running out of credits.
Yeah. Not a plug. Maybe you should download Rocket Money and figure out if you have a subscription there. Because
And where's your affiliate link?
I don't have one. I said not a plug, but that's the ad that I see. Like every other ad when I'm watching shows on Disney Plus, there it's Rocket Money. So
Yeah, I think I have seen commercials for that. All right, Madison.
Dan probably pays for that too and doesn't know it.
I don't know. I notice it usually when it hits my credit card, but beyond that, Madison, did you have a funnel pickle for this week?
I don't have a funnel pickle, but I have a funnel question for Brandon. How do you bridge that gap of funnel to a business owner who has never heard of Russell? They've never heard of ClickFunnels. They have no idea what a funnel is other than maybe a funnel to actually like put oil in your car.
Well, you got to speak the language. Instead of saying a funnel, just say sales process. And most people grasp the idea of a sales process to where you have the, customer finding the business, customer calling the business, appointment set, and then appointment close, right? And so where ClickFunnels or Google Business Profile or your business listing on another search engine site falls into place is at that top of the funnel deal. It's usually your first introduction. It's either going to be the first page at the top of Google with the link, or it's going to be in that 3-pack there and the map there that somebody's going to be clicking into. If they go to the website, hopefully it's a ClickFunnels site, right? Because it's fast and it should be optimized and all that kind of stuff to actually capture a lead. And that's where you bridge that gap. It's like nobody's ready to buy at the beginning. They still have to find you and do the research. So to do that, you got to be in the places where they're looking, and that's on Google, Bing. Have a ClickFunnels account with a landing page that captures a lead, and then do the due diligence on the end for the bottom of funnel stuff. Call them back, send them an email, and or set an appointment to get them to book for an inspection or a sales call.
Well, and I was going to say the thing with a local business, in a lot of cases, they don't really even need. I mean, so think of your landscaper guys here. Do they really need a funnel, or do they just really need a good website, maybe with some blogging on it to be able to get more traffic from Google coming through more often once they put some blog posts on there? And they need some images and some videos and stuff like that. But are they really thinking in terms of putting out lead magnets and stuff like that? I mean, what would a landscaper put out for a lead magnet? I have no idea.
They absolutely should be putting out lead magnets. I mean, that's the fundamental deal of marketing, because as I just mentioned, 99% of the people aren't ready to buy, and they want to DIY it themselves. So if a landscaper had a lead magnet for in the local area, 10 ways to keep a green lawn in Urbana, Ohio, one, is going to rank for Urbana, Ohio, people looking how to keep a green lawn. 2, it's going to give the landscaper authority. 3, is going to put them on an email list to remarket to, so that they stay top of mind. And when the homeowners tired of doing it themselves and realize they can pay to have it done for not very much money and then get back the hours in their day to do it, they'll do that. 3, it keeps us employed. So that's why they need to do it.
It's all about us.
No, I just have to throw that in there in the end. But in all reality, like a local business owner can do this themselves, especially with AI. If you don't know what 10 things somebody needs to do to keep a green lawn in the city that they're in, put in AI. It'll push out the 10 things. Throw it on a PDF, landing page, email, phone number, whatever. Capture the lead. You got to give something to get something. And at the end of the day, like, no one's ready to just pick up the phone and say, hey, come cut my grass without no liking and trusting somebody. And it's just a way to build no like and trust.
And then we could go on, but we got no time left. We go on. We can talk about referrals and how you can teach these local people how to get more referrals. The simple answer to that is ask. And all kinds of other things. Once you get into that market, if you're in the landscaping market in your local area, you can be teaching them all kinds of stuff. And very quickly, you're going to become the go-to guy, so that when John sees Larry and Larry's a dude, how are you getting all the business now? Well, you got to go talk to that guy Brandon over there, and he'll teach you how to get some more business. Except they probably won't tell him that because they don't want him stealing it.
Yeah, absolutely. And the And another key thing is like if you're already in the industry and doing it, you already have the know, like, and trust, and the fact that you've done it for X number of years, you know what you're talking about. They're more apt to listen to you. Me, I came out of the insurance and auto industry, so it's a little difficult for me to get in. But you know, you keep saying the same message over and over again, you start building that know, like, and trust anyway that you know what you're talking about.
Oh yeah, definitely. Okay. All right. Well, that's it. We're at the top of the hour here, so we should probably get out of here, say goodbye, so we don't get in trouble for going over our hour. Because, you know, they're really mean at ClickFunnels. They'll come in.
They're so mean. Danny guy, he is the
he'll be all over us if we go one over. So.
All right. Well, we will see everybody next week with another educational, inspirational live from another expert in the marketing and funnel space.
Yep. We don't know who yet, but you'll find out next week.
See you.
See you then.
See you guys.